Hello everybody and welcome to an episode of World of Tanks. Today we're going to be looking at the KV-1, which is a Soviet heavy tank which was used by the Red Army during the Second World War. The KV series were known for their heavy armour protection during the early parts of the war, especially during the first year of the German invasion of the Soviet Union. In certain situations, even a single KV-1 or a KV-2, which I'll review in a second video at a later date, both of those, or even a single one of those, which were supported by infantry, were capable of holding German onslaughts. The KV tanks were practically immune to the German 3.7 cm KWK-36 and the howitzer-like short-barreled 7.5 cm KWK-37 guns, mounted respectively on the early Panzer IIIs and Panzer IV tanks fielded by the invading German forces. Prior to Operation Barbarossa, about 500 of the over 22,000 tanks then in Soviet service were the KV-1 type. When the KV-1 appeared, it outclassed the French Char B-1, the only other heavy tank in operational service at the war in the time. And what I'll do is I'm going to put the link to this in the description below. I'm just reading it off Wiki, to be honest. Okay, so the KV-1 was used by the Soviet Union and Finland. The Finnish forces managed to capture some of the KV-1s, and it was also used in the Winter War, which was between Russia and Finland, and obviously the Second World War. The KV-1 was designed between 1938 and 1939, and it was produced between 1939 and 1943. 5,219 of them were built, and the variants are the KV-2, KV-8 flamethrower, KV-1S, the KV-85 and the KV-122. In 1941 the KV-1 weighed in at 45 tons, length was 22 feet 2 inches, width was 10 feet 11 inches, height was 8 foot 11 inches and it had a crew of 5. Its front armour was 90mm thick, its sides was 75mm and its rear was 70mm. The main gun was a 76.2mm Zis-5 gun. Secondary armament was 3 or 4 machine guns. Those were, depending on which tank you had, you either had 3 or 4 in. It was powered by a model V2 V12 diesel engine which produced 600 horsepower, and its power to weight ratio was 13 horsepower per ton, and its top speed was 22 miles an hour. The KV-2 is a little bit different, but as I said, I will go over that in a separate video. The reason why this tank was phased out more over less than the T-34 was because the T-34 was cheaper to produce, cheaper to manufacture, and it offered no real benefit over, or the KV-1 offered no real benefit over the T-34, even though it was much more heavily armoured. And well, I say that and I get blown up on top of a hill. But anyway, I'm going to move on to the stats for it in game. And the KV-1 is a Soviet Tier 5 heavy tank. Okay, most novice players will find the KV-1's playing style significantly different to what they're used to, having just come out of the T-28 medium tank. At stock, it's armed with an adequate 76mm Zis-5 gun. It is very slow and certainly not agile. Consider mounting this 57mm 413 if you enjoy faster rates of fire with decent penetration. The KV-1 with a 122mm U-11 gun fires HE shells that can be surprisingly fun tank to play, but don't expect to be doing much when you get thrown in with the higher tier battles. One of the tanks new players should definitely learn to kill, as the same weak spots are shared with the other tanks in the KV family. Frontal weak spots include flat plates directly below the turret and the lower plate below the heavily sloped midsection, and shots to the rear and side will penetrate the flat 60mm armour fairly consistently. This tank used to be combined with the KV-2 in the removed KV tank. The KV-1 leads to the T-150, the KV-2 and the KV-1S. When playing multiplayer, you'll be dragged into tier 5s, 6s and 7s for the most part. The cost of buying one in game is 390,000 coins. Stock health is 590 HP. Its weight limit is stock is 47.4 tons. That's its weight, and then the limit is 47.8, so it's just on the limit. His crew is a commander, gunner, radio operator, driver and a loader, and a lot of it is already what I've said from the wiki page. I'll also put this page into the description below. This is the wiki from wargaming.net. The pros of this tank is you can choose between 3 good guns that offer completely different styles of play with good damage per minute or rate of fire for each. Excellent armour for its tier on the front and sides with a 110mm thick nearly impenetrable rounded upgrade turret. It's good at side scraping but mediocre reverse angling due to engine. Upper front glacis is very bouncy if the enemy doesn't aim. 122mm U11 howitzer is relatively consistent penetration on low tiers and can one shot, still capable against higher tiers. The 85mm that it has is has excellent fire rates, penetration, damage, especially for its tier. The cons for it is its slow acceleration, poor manoeuvrability, which is usually a high priority target for SVGs because it's easy to kill because of those reasons. Its top speed and strategic mobility is acceptable but lower than the IS line. Really bad view range, so you can get sniped easily by invisible tanks out of range. Slow aim time on larger guns, especially the 122mm howitzer, with low accuracy and long reload time to boot, and it has the odd frontal weak spot. Okay, so that's really it for the KV-1. There's a lot more detail for it, but I just wanted to make this video nice, quick and simple as like a bit of an overview, and then the 2 links in the description below will be there for you to read at your own leisure. I'm going to leave you now with this battle, and I'm afraid to say that I kind of got a little bit outgunned on this one, but it's always fun to play with the KV-1 for me, and I will admit that my particular one at the moment is not fully upgraded, though it soon will be, and then I can really start getting some good games out of it. But thank you very much guys for watching. This is actually a new format I'm trying. Whether I'll keep it or not, I don't know. But please let me know in the comments below if you like it. And yeah, happy gaming. I'll see you next time.